To our breaking news here on SportsCenter, massive trade happening in the NBA right now. The Dallas Mavericks are trading Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. It's a three-team deal that includes Utah, according to our Shams Charania, who we might hear from later on. In the meantime, let's now say hello to Stephen A. Smith, who, of course, is on our NBA Countdown desk. And Stephen A., what a blockbuster to drop on a Saturday night, but nonetheless, here we are. Luka Doncic going to the Lakers, Anthony Davis going to the Dallas Mavericks. What's your reaction?
I'm shocked. I'm shocked like most, if not the entire basketball world appears to be. It's not something that you would have ever anticipated, primarily from the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic is a global star. He's a global superstar in this game. You know what he can bring to the table. He's fresh off an appearance in the NBA Finals. He's 25 years of age. He's a perennial all-star and a 25-point-per-game scorer, averaging 28 points a game this year, even though he only played 22 games. Nobody would have thought that you would think to trade Luka Doncic. So there's a lot of speculation as to why that may have happened. Did he want out? Did something happen that the team said, okay, enough's enough, let's get rid of him? We don't know the answers to that question at this particular moment in time, but that's speculation. And then when you look on the Anthony Davis side, this is a guy that's a big-time player. He's an all-star. He's one of the elite defensive players in the game of basketball, a rim protector, a scorer, good for 25 and 12 a night, etc. And the Lakers moving away from him, what does that say in terms of their message to LeBron? LeBron James is 40 years of age in his 22nd season. You're looking to compete for a championship. Anthony Davis himself was on the record saying we need a 5 so I can get to my natural position at the 4, and I think that's what we could use in order to move forward and potentially win a championship. By this move happening, the Lakers have no rim protector. Luka nor LeBron James can do that. So the season, in a lot of people's eyes, is a wash for the Los Angeles Lakers. And it appears like they've said to LeBron James, I'm sorry, maybe another time. But we're certainly not going to be thinking about a championship this year when we have nothing on our front court after losing Anthony Davis. And so that's what you're looking at right now. It's a whole bunch of questions, a whole bunch of intrigue, and a shocker, maybe the biggest shock of a trade that many of us have seen in NBA history.
Wow. 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 That's all I can say, y'all. In regards to arguably one of the biggest trades in modern NBA history, shocking trades, literally in modern NBA history. And we dealing with the LA Lakers trade with the Dallas Mavericks with like a huge superstar swap, reigning all NBA swap. Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. Luka Doncic going to the Lakers. Anthony Davis going to the Mavericks. Those are the key pieces. And then, you got the full detail. You got Maxi Kleber going with Luka as well. Dealing with another one, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris. They're going to the Lakers. As definitely Max Christie. He's going to be going to the Mavs with Davis. And the draft pick's going to come up in there. Utah gets Jalen Hood-Schifino from the Mavs. And 2 draft picks. Before I go any further, ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, the Socially Awkward Nerd, Christian Paul, speaking. And I'm coming to you as we knew the whole shocking trade news broke out around the time of this recording last Saturday. That I believe is Saturday, February 1st. Definitely last week, on how the whole shocker mainly broke out. And to the general public that's actually watching this video, a lot of y'all are definitely thinking the Dallas Mavericks must be the dumbest team alive to get rid of an elite, once in a lifetime, once in a generation player that's about to enter the crest of his prime. Why would you be forced to let him go for Anthony Davis, right? This is arguably one of the worst trades to go down in modern NBA history. And that's understandable. However, if you look into the NBA circles, if you look into what the Mavs have saw behind closed doors, behind the scenes, on how Luka prepares, on how Luka trains, I know there's some stipulation in regards with his weight. There's stipulations in regards with like how well he trains. GM and the coach were very concerned. Coach Jason Kidd, Nico Harrison, and only you have to factor in the fact that Mark Cuban is no longer a majority owner for the Dallas Mavericks. He has no say-so in personal decisions or even actually dealing with certain players when it comes to player management. All that power now goes down to the new majority owner of the Mavericks. They have the final say, and they really have like a thorough gel with Luka like that. And that's what caused the trade to actually mainly go down. Now, a lot of people actually just see some of the reasons behind that. I'm not going to get too much into it. What I do want to try and break down in this video here, which is going to be like a good week-ish long video, is how well these new pieces will gel within their new teams. Definitely within the Mavs, as well as with the Mavs and AD and Kyrie Irving, as well as with the Lakers with the fit between Luka Doncic and the King, LeBron James. Let's go for the juiciness, ladies and gentlemen. You feel me? Juicy! All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what we have here basically is some clips of Anthony Davis's first game as a Dallas Maverick prior to him mainly being injured due to another oblique injury that's going to sideline him for 2 calendar weeks. Technically, he does have a full week off due to the fact that it's All-Star break currently, so he'll definitely miss around a handful of games at least. It's definitely good news. But around the time it's recording, I know it's been like around 2 weeks ago from the last recording around the time that happened, and I think it's like around last week that Anthony Davis actually made his debut. So we are going to actually do some analysis in regards to that, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go through this little clip here and see what we get.
Welcome to Dallas, Texas. It's Saturday afternoon basketball. Houston Rockets and Dallas Mavericks clash for the third time.
Let's go skip through all these guys right here. Now you've seen starting lineups actually come in. And let's see how Anthony Davis does up in that game. And he had literally a dominant performance within 31 minutes of play. I say that.
In his first game with Dallas, Davis is in his 13th year in the NBA from Kentucky. And now Hart, the 384th player to take the floor for the Dallas Mavericks in franchise history, Anthony Davis. And he will not be jumping with Şengün. It will be Gafford, but we will start to see what AD in a Maverick uniform and the City Edition uniform today looks like. PJ Washington back after PJ.
Look like they're doing a little bit of triangle. Anthony Davis mainly posting up here. Anthony Davis sees a double team. That's what you get with Davis. Kyrie Irving up in the corner. And then you see Daniel Gafford literally trying to come in the rim, literally cutting through the basket. Let's see the play coming up in full strength right here. And as I go up, I'm going to literally try to slow this down so that we can see what's popping off. So watch it roll. Watch it roll, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the lob. Wide open. He cuts in. Easy dunk right there. So we see that, right? So let's go mute this guy up here. We don't really need to see any of that. But wide open lob that you see. We go up front. Boom. Right there. And the block gets hot. Now let's go back to normal speed and see what we get in the next play. You see all that right there, right? Now you see him defend Alfred Şengün up in the back corner, right? While he doubles up, he goes to the quick block shot. He's an elite defender, snatches the ball, has a lot of handles, literally as a power forward in the center. And mind you, AD was a guard up in high school prior to his growth spurt, so he did play the 1 and the 2 prior to his growth spurt in high school in Chicago. Laser pass, PJ Washington for the slam, easy wide open dunk. Boom, money right there. Y'all see that, right? And he comes through in the wing. He goes for the pass through Klay Thompson, goes to wide open shot, creates a bubble screen for Klay. They actually get open, hits the 3. Nope. You create the pick and roll. Gafford literally is up in the right. You see Gafford here. Where's where my mouse is? Gafford's mainly toward that little entrance that you see mainly up in the front. So let me actually pull up so I don't have to really worry about my neck, because I just actually saw this little triple monitor setup, so forgive me if we go in there. So let me lean for a bit so we can see this clip here. So he goes in, he's wide open, and you see him come. He comes for the roll. Klay Thompson mainly goes in for the layup. Let me pull myself up. Pull myself up a bit. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue and see what the deal is. Now, Klay Thompson comes in. He comes for the roll. He basically comes by to a pick and roll. Let's go skip through some of these areas. AD comes in again. Backs to the basket, creates an inside-out game. Goes for the score. We know what he can do. He backs in again, drives through, goes again. He created his own shot, creates ISO as well. And this is actually sharing his caring. You got PJ Washington actually just facilitate the point, creates the lane for Anthony Davis. Boom. Hits the rebound right there. Easy money. And this is the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. He going off. He losing his mind. Let's go back 10 seconds to actually see the crowd actually go berserk. Wait, 1 second. Let me get that back in there. Mute. Let's see what's popping off here.
Gambled going after it, and to the basket, Davis put back
Mavs
jam.
fans on
And
fire.
how is that for a first 4 minutes and 26 seconds in a Mavericks uniform?
It's that real. This is that real. You know what?
Mavericks have lost 108-102 and 110-99 in 2 games against the Houston Rockets this year. 4-3. Challenge by Şengün, and still splashing in for Davis.
That's what I mean. This guy's special, man. There's no question about it.
If we go back here, let's go mute this again. You don't have to worry about all these other copyrights and all that. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Now, and looks like he's trying to actually go inside. You see AD try to go inside here. And then he goes from the mid-range. He create that shot as well. And the pick and pop. And you see up in the wings. And he could create the foul as well. Which we can see that. And you see him actually make the free throws. And he could definitely get you inside the basket that you see here. Lethal. I don't really need to actually go any further, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if we go one more play, when it comes to the defensive side, he goes in, they go intensify the defensive pressure. Boom, another steal. And you got to run out with Dante Exum, with definitely Max Christie. Also was traded with Anthony Davis. In that trade, hit that wide open shot. Easy money right there. So, I don't really need to go further in this, ladies and gentlemen. I can understand Nico Harrison's reasoning as to why they had to make the trade. They had to trade away Luka, who is a once-in-a-generational player, for a guy like AD. Definitely 6 years Luka's senior. So I can understand that they are mainly banking against Luka's growth and against his continued playing habits. They banking on against Luka against Luka literally being mature. He may not mature. He's going to continue to have injury problems down the road. That's what, the Mavericks brass are mainly thinking up in their heads. And they felt that they had made an upgrade with AD up by the forward position. While unfortunately, while you have the disadvantage in regards to the backcourt, you don't really have as much creativity and shot generation up in the backcourt as you do the front court, but at least you get some balance. So I'll definitely will give them that. How will they win, or will they benefit years from now in the brutal Western Conference? Only time will tell. Now, let's go focus right on Mr. Luka Doncic here and see what his Laker debut is mainly all about, literally up in these streets.
Meantime, outside of the American Airlines Center, it was not the typical fun spirit that you normally see on a game day. Instead, there was a large police presence and barriers set up in places due to all of the protesters who showed up expressing their anger over the Luka Doncic trade. Fox 4's Amelia Jones was in the middle of it all. She joins us live tonight with that part of the story. Amelia?
Casey, fans were happy that the Mavs walked away with a win, but they shared that the atmosphere inside just wasn't the same without Luka on the court. Before tip-off of Saturday's Dallas Mavericks game, fans continued to show their disappointment that the team will now take the court without star player Luka Doncic.
Utter disbelief, shock, awe, and disappointment.
Last week, the Dallas Mavericks sent number 77 to the Los Angeles Lakers as part of a trade that included the Lakers' Anthony Davis. Saturday's home game against the Houston Rockets was the first at the AAC since the trade. And no, the fans are not over it.
Anthony Davis is a really good player, but he's not Luka. And just the way the whole thing was done, it wasn't fair to Luka, and it wasn't fair to the city of Dallas.
Mirsad Grebus planned to celebrate his 60th birthday by going to a Mavs game with his son to watch his favorite player.
We come in almost from same country. I'm Bosnian, he's Slovenian, and that's kind of connection too. And from now on, wherever he goes, I go.
Grebus says he'll make a trip to LA, but when he bought Luka's Dallas jersey, he never thought he'd have to buy another.
I can't believe, because I got one when he belongs to. He should be here today on this game.
The fans know it's not Luka's fault for the trade, and they made their feelings known toward the Mavs leadership.
Sell the team! Sell the team! Sell the team!
The Mavs went on to beat the Rockets 116-105, but fans said the game just wasn't the same.
I mean, I love what I saw from Anthony Davis, but I feel like the energy, it doesn't hit the same without Luka.
Travis Alley chose to wear Luka's number 77 Slovenian national team jersey as a statement at Saturday's game.
I thought he was destined for great things, and I think he still is, and I'm a Mavs fan and also a Luka fan, so I'm pretty torn about this whole situation.
The game was full of mixed emotions for the Alleys, but one thing was clear, number 77 was missed.
But I feel like the fans are still trying to get up and cheer for the new assets that they acquire with Anthony Davis and Max Christie, but you could definitely tell there was something missing there without Luka.
Fans said they know the protest won't reverse the trade decision, but they hope Mavericks leadership hears them for future decisions. And hey, if it doesn't work out in LA, fans say there will always be a whole lot of love for Luka here in Dallas, and he's welcome back anytime. Casey, back to you.
It was an exciting game on the court and off the court at the American Airlines Center last night.
Several fans were ejected as the uproar continues about the Luka Doncic trade. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke with some of those fans and has the latest on the rift between the fan base and the team. Peyton.
Hi, Steve and Heather. Yes, security here at the AAC has been on high alert, making sure fans follow the NBA rules. Now, some fans at last night's game were looking to be seen or heard by Mavs general manager Nico Harrison. One fan I spoke to this afternoon believes he did nothing wrong.
But I had intentions of going there, that we were going to try to get a Fire Nico chant going at some point in the game.
Diehard Mavs fan Chris Taylor says while others might be on to healing, he's still hurt over the Luka trade. So with 2 minutes left in Monday's Mavs game against the Kings, Taylor started a chant while the Mavs were shooting free throws. The chant caught the attention of Mark Cuban, who was sitting about 20 rows in front of Taylor, seen in a video that was posted on social media Tuesday. He says Cuban told him to sit down.
I pointed back at him and I said, "You sit down. You did this. This is your fault." Like yelling it at the top of my lungs.
Do not put your hands on me. I did not violate any NBA code of conduct. No.
Taylor started filming once he was told by security to leave. At first he refused, but once Dallas police got involved, Taylor got up. Our cameras caught Taylor and his friend, who was wearing a T-shirt with Mavs owner Miriam Adelson depicted as a clown, as they exited the arena. Earlier in the game, a man appeared to mouth "Fire Nico" on the karaoke cam broadcasted on the Jumbotron. He also brought a poster that read "Fire Nico" and was also kicked out. In a statement, the Dallas Mavericks said this fan broke a rule included in the NBA Code of Conduct, reading clothing, garments, or signs displaying explicit language, profanity, or derogatory characterization towards any person. In Taylor's incident, the Dallas Mavericks went on to say Taylor's friend, Garrett Bussey, was wearing a T-shirt that broke the code of conduct. And they were, quote, intoxicated, disruptive, and uncooperative. Bussey and Taylor say they were not intoxicated. Mark Cuban sent an email to Fox 4 saying, "I didn't care what he was saying. He was saying it the whole game. I cared that fans were booing him while we had the ball in crunch time or were shooting free throws. The time when they should be silent or cheering for the Mavs."
I have not used foul language one time. We were there as fans cheering the Mavs on to win the game. But at the same time, I'm also going to voice my opinion on what else has been happening.
And new tonight, Steve and Heather, Nico Harrison attended the SMU basketball game here in Dallas, according to the Dallas Morning News. Students were seen in a video chanting, quote, "Fire Nico," multiple times. Again, that was this evening, earlier tonight. Back to you in the studio.
All right. I think it's a bad look for the Mavericks and Mark Cuban, and just kind of fans can be fans, can't they? I don't know. Whatever. All right, Peyton, thank you very much.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, what we have is another game that we're going to analyze that took place at the time of recording, definitely last Monday, which I believe is the February 10th at the time, in which Lakers are playing the Jazz at home up in Crypto.com arena, in which Luka Doncic finally makes his LA Lakers debut as a point guard. Despite all the craziness that's been going on at the time, Rob Pelinka basically attempted to trade for Mark Williams from the Hornets, but when they actually did the physical and saw some deep concerns, trade ended up getting rescinded. Don Connect ended up starting losing his mind for a bit, and they ended up signing Alex Len, I believe, early this week at the time of this recording. So we are actually going to analyze basically Luka Doncic's game and how well he can fit with the Lakers alongside playing with his idol, all hail the king, Mr. LeBron James. Let's go right into this video that we have up in here, and let's see what we can actually find and actually analyze based off of that. And this is courtesy ESPN, y'all. Fair use.
The wait is over in Los Angeles after one of the most shocking trades in sports history. Five-time first-team All-NBA Luka Doncic finally makes his LA Laker debut. His number 77 will be worn by everyone inside Crypto.com arena for what should be a memorable night in the history of one of the league's winningest franchises. Healthy for the first time since Christmas Day. 8 days removed from being dealt by the Dallas Mavericks, Doncic now joins LeBron James in the pantheon of Laker greats in the beginning of a new era in Los Angeles and the NBA.
And the other guard wears number 77. 6'7", seventh campaign from Slovenia, Luka Doncic. Head coach J.J. Redick.
Dave Pasch alongside Tim Legler to call the action. George Sedano will join us in a little bit. Legs, you've been working at ESPN for 25 years. You played in the NBA a long time. How significant is this for the Lakers and the NBA for tonight and beyond?
I've seen a lot, but I haven't seen this. This is unprecedented. You're talking about a 25-year-old superstar, one of the most dominant offensive forces, not only currently in the league, but maybe that this league has ever seen, become available. And the Lakers do everything in their power to get him, to pair him with LeBron James. So now you watch the bridge with LeBron and trying to win now, but you also potentially get your first look at the future of the Los Angeles Lakers.
How do you expect it to play out tonight? We mentioned J.J. Redick's going to play Doncic about 30 minutes in this game. How will it work with two dominant ball handlers on the floor together?
There's going to be a feeling out process for sure when you have two guys with this kind of usage rate on the ball. There's no doubt. Ultimately, their ability, their talent, their IQ will make this work. I think right away you're going to see the luxury of having a player of this caliber on both sides of the floor that can beat you in any platform as a scorer and make any pass that has to be made.
Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by T-Mobile. One trade that did not go through. Mark Williams was acquired from Charlotte. That deal was rescinded. He would have been the starting center. Instead, Jackson Hayes will be the starter at center from here on out. With Hachimura, Austin Reeves coming off a 45-point game on Saturday. For Utah, Collier, Clarkson, Lowry Markkanen, former All-Star, along with John Collins. Year 7 for Luka Doncic. The third overall pick in 2018 by Atlanta, traded on draft night to Dallas. He'll turn 26 years old on February 28th.
Now let's go mute this bad boy. See what type of stuff they run. And then here come LeBron coming up, pushing the pace. Luka come by, literally trying to drive for the pass. You know, they're literally, both of them, both LeBron and Luka, are little triple-double machines. So, give them a couple of games. You know, they could literally definitely win some games, which will take a while. But I believe with this offense and with them being willing passers, you know, it could definitely work. But there has to be some few caveats in there as well for Luka. He hit the semi-step, got the lob, extra pass toward Jackson Hayes. He's going to have a lot of those coming up. And you see Hayes getting wide open, you know. Kessler literally having his back down to the defender, back down to the offensive player, and then boom. Open lob, easy money. Now, once Reed comes in, once he runs the show, he creates his own shot. He goes for the three, guarded, boom. He's able to actually create a play for himself. And you see once again with the replay. Creates his own shot, boom. He drives to the basket, creates over player, Rui Hachimura, wide open three. Over there, and then he makes a rebound, slice and dices. This is what you're going to get with the Lakers offense with Luka on the floor. Boom, right there. Just like that. And comes in, tries to make the drive, and he finds an open spot for Hachimura again. Boom, three. Splash, right there. The way he coming at him, the way he sees defenders and sees any openings, it comes to players. That's how I find him. And you see Luka hitting the post, getting his shot, a la Dirk Nowitzki. I'll see that. And then he has Vincent actually on the floor, running the screen and roll, goes for his own layup. Now, with Luka, he could definitely be more elite for sure if he actually gets himself more active and trains with LeBron. If he does that, there's a very, very strong chance that he could prolong his years moving forward and he literally avoid all the unnecessary injuries that he's been getting mainly up in the past. If he trains with him, if he learns everything from him, this pairing will be very, very lethal for a very long time, as early, starting with this season, in which they could literally go as high as maybe the 3rd seed, maybe the 2nd seed, who knows. But the way that they're actually continuing to roll, when they get themselves in order at the flow, they know how to defend. If they defend well, they could go as high as realistically the 3rd seed up in the Western Conference, for what we know. And we'll definitely see the standings definitely currently that's up in the side below, and you'll definitely see what I'm mainly talking about in this case. But there's a shot, depending on how well they go in, and the West is literally a log jam. It is very cutthroat. Western Conference, that is the NBA, is very, very cutthroat, and it's very, 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 very unpredictable. So that's really the whole best situation that actually comes about it when it comes to Western Conference, especially when the Lakers and Mavs made that trade. All right, y'all. So who is the real winner in that whole trade that everyone's mainly talking about? It all's going to come down to who's going to get healthy, who going to be moving far along up in the Western Conference standings and Western Conference playoffs. We may not fully know about the true value of that trade until years from now. We're talking seasons. We're talking 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons, not just the immediate future. It could work for the immediate future, but we're talking about long term as well. Because again, around that time, when in 5, 6 years, AD is going to be in his mid to late 40s, and we know Luka's still going to be up in his prime by then. Now, who knows if they're going to be winning titles? Who knows if Luka's going to be injury prone or AD's going to be injury prone? A lot has to be said as the season mainly goes on before we can actually make that call, actually make that judgment. Now, what I will say is a real, real huge bummer that Dallas had to trade one of its generational players to desperately win now due to the fact that banking on him banking against him, not having the same type of drive that a lot of the historical greats in the NBA mainly have. That's why they traded him away, which is extremely unfortunate. It also comes to show and prove that nobody, and I mean nobody, is safe from being traded up in the cutthroat business of the NBA. Not even LeBron James, not even Kevin Durant. So it's a bit of like a cluster of fuzz, if you ask me, in regards to this whole ordeal. And now, it may be arguably one of the shocking and arguably one of the dumbest trades to definitely a lot of people that actually want to see Luka stay up in Dallas. And it's gone so hectic that you got Mavs fans literally protesting in the arena and outside the arena. Even Adam Silver had to actually have a say during All-Star work in regards to that. That's how insane it literally is. But again, we're not going to actually know who truly won or who truly lost overall until years come down from now in regards to how well the Lakers are doing, and as well how well the Dallas Mavericks are doing after that trade. Give it win in a couple of years, and then we find out if it's really a dumb move or is it a smart move by both brasses or by one brass. I don't know. We will find out for sure. And the chapters yet to be written in regards to that. And I'm going to leave it at that, y'all. Juicy!